After spending far too long in a shelter, this rescue dog finally found the loving home he deserved. The moment he realized he was safe, his entire face lit up with pure joy. His reaction was so touching, it's guaranteed to melt your heart. This is the story of Mango, a dog who endured trials and heartbreak, but ultimately found the family he was always meant to have. He was discovered at a train station, thin, emaciated, and wearing a blank, distant stare, as if he had stopped believing anyone would ever want him. His body showed the toll of neglect, and his spirit had nearly faded. But hope came through a rescue group based in New York called Grateful Greyhounds, which partners with shelters in Spain to find loving homes for dogs who've suffered from human cruelty. That's how Mango came into their care, and eventually into the arms of the family who would change his life. At the time of his rescue, Mango was about a year old, still just a puppy, though clearly scared by his past. It's likely he had once belonged to a hunter or farmer who discarded him when he was no longer useful. Perhaps he had run off in search of a better life, or maybe he'd simply been abandoned. Whatever the case, his future looked bleak, until someone chose to reach out and save him. When his future family saw his picture for the first time, there was no hesitation. They didn't know what Mango's personality would be like, or whether he would ever learn to trust again. But none of that mattered. They knew he belonged with them, and they were determined to give him the home he deserved. His flight from Madrid to New York took about 8 hours. When they finally met him at the airport, he looked even thinner and more fragile than in the photos. But as soon as he arrived at their home, he began searching for a cozy spot to snuggle. It was as if he had been waiting his whole life for this moment, for safety, for comfort, for love. In the first few months, Mango slept a lot. It seemed as though his body and soul were finally able to rest. He no longer had to fear being touched, harmed, or chased away. He knew nothing about life inside a house and had to learn it all from scratch, including how to climb stairs. For the first few days, his new family had to carry him up and down. The concept was foreign to him, but with time, he grew more confident. After 8 months of patient care and training, it became clear. Mango was not only smart, but he was one of the most loyal and loving dogs they had ever known. Mango is what they lovingly call a Velcro dog. He's always nearby, always eager to cuddle, to rest his head on someone's shoulder, or to wrap his paws around them in a gentle hug. Though his coat might be a little prickly, his heart is softer than the warmest blanket. He's incredibly sensitive, tuned in to every emotion in the room. He can sense who is sad, who needs quiet support, and will simply sit beside them, offering silent comfort. They often joke that Mango isn't a dog at all, but a person in disguise. So attuned is he to human emotion. He earned the nickname Twinkle Toes for his light, graceful walk, and his uncanny ability to curl into the smallest spaces, especially when it's time to snuggle on the couch. That's how he got his second nickname, Baby Bean. He seemed to shrink himself just enough to fit beside them, perfectly, always close. Mango entered their lives during one of their darkest seasons, a year in which they lost 5 grandparents. It was a time of grief and emotional exhaustion, when strength was hard to find. But Mango was there. He would sit quietly beside them, rest his head in their lap, and somehow say without words,
"I'm here. I know how hard this is for you, but you're not alone."
They'd love him more than he could ever understand. And they've promised, for the rest of his life, he will never feel lonely again. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like this story. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.